The Soviet soldiers learned that a group of German saboteurs had entered their territory. The information was approximate. The composition of the group and the place of the group's exit to the railroad were not known. We knew for sure that the saboteurs would be dressed in the uniform of the Red Army soldiers. We decided to take under supervision the most dangerous sites of the road. We were determined with distances for supervision and began to work. A day passed, the second day came. A horse pulled a sled to the forest from the lake. Ivanov proves that the local man went out to collect firewood. The documents prove it. Ivanov had already thought about saying goodbye, when his eyes were drawn to a large sack. He asked the local what he was carrying. It turned out to be groceries for the Red Army men. Ivanov immediately became wary, began to ask questions. What kind? How many of them? Where are they? 3 Red Army men, armed with submachine guns, were catching someone in the forest. They asked for help with food, they were going to leave, and now they were sleeping it off in a forest hut. A question arose at once: what to do? It takes a very long time to run back to our people, and it is very dangerous to go alone. Ivanov hesitated for a moment, and resolutely got into the sledge. Asked the man to introduce him as his brother the forester. From afar he saw a fighter with a submachine gun near the hut. We drove up. Ivanov cheerfully said hello to the fighter, carelessly took his carbine and entered the hut, demonstratively put it in the corner. Immediately sat down at the table. All 3 were a little tense, guns held in his lap. They didn't let the man go to the village. They said that tomorrow they will all go together. We drank tea. The evening came. Tension seemed to hang in the air. Under the guise of having a smoke, all the Red Army men went outside. There would be no shooting within a kilometer of the railroad. That's all that came to mind. In conversation, Ivanov said that he had come to determine the plot for logging, and tomorrow the loggers will come to the forest. The new acquaintances will obviously try to leave in the morning so as not to arouse suspicion. The Red Army men went back to the hut, saying that tomorrow they would leave. They started to occupy the floorboards, and put submachine guns by the headboard. Ivanov lay down on the floor near the stove, not far from the local peasant. It is clear that the suspicious Red Army men will sleep one by one. Would they all sleep? Ivanov listened to the breathing of the people, on the tents long tossed. A light snoring appeared. By morning everyone was asleep. The decisive moment had come. Ivanov began to approach the submachine guns, managed to take out 2, the third did not get in. Ivanov left his submachine gun in place, and cautiously made his way to his carbine. He checked his submachine guns, all were loaded. He waited for the morning. The first saboteur woke up, staring at the muzzle of his assault rifle. Ivanov whispered, "Get on the bench." The saboteur complied. The little man began to knit. The first saboteur was finished. The little man pulled the third submachine gun out of the hands of the sleeping saboteur. They returned to Pulazero with trophies and 3 captive saboteurs.